What's going on, New York Giants fans? Hit Squad back at it with another video. And today we have some injury updates in regards to Leonard Williams, who suffered a knee injury against Carolina this past weekend. We also have a familiar face rejoining the New York Giants in linebacker Jaylon Smith. Spent some time with the New York Giants last year, formerly a Dallas Cowboy. So definitely some things to talk about in this video. However, before we do that, if you're new to the channel, or if you have not already, join the Hit Squad below. Hit that subscribe button. We're almost at 500 subscribers. Leave a like as well as your thoughts on this video below. Also, if you have not already, follow us on Twitter. The link will be in the description box below. Now, coming out of this game, a lot of Giants fans were very happy that we're 2-0. We beat Carolina. However, we knew that we were possibly going to be taking a big hit on our defense with Leonard Williams, who went out with the knee injury, was automatically ruled out. Usually when you see that a player is dealing with the knee injury, you automatically think a torn ACL, you think a torn MCL, out for the entirety of the season. And per Ian Rapport, Leonard Williams actually sprained his MCL. So there was no tear. He's going to miss some time. However, he will not be out for the entirety of the season. Now, as you guys know, Kayvon Thibodeau, our rookie edge rusher, suffered a similar injury going against the Cincinnati Bengals in this past preseason. Knocked him out for quite some time. Still hasn't had a single down in the NFL yet because of it. Looking to get his first start against the Dallas Cowboys. We'll see how that goes. But with this kind of injury, typically the players are out between 3 to 5 weeks. We've seen with this regime that they like to really take their time with their players coming off injury. They don't like to do anything that's going to stress the injury or try to re-aggravate it or cause any further damage. So definitely appreciate Brian Dable and crew for doing that. It's going to suck to see Leonard Williams not on the field, but I think Giants fans, we could take a sigh of relief knowing that Leonard Williams, he's not going to be out for the entirety of the year. He'll be back soon, probably within a month, maybe a month and a half. And this defensive line, they're going to have to step up. You know, I'm looking at players like Dexter Lawrence, Aziz when he comes back, Kayvon Thibodeau. They're going to have to step up while Leonard Williams is nursing this injury. You know, I definitely think that we're taking a big hit on the defensive line. Leonard Williams, since the trade, he's been productive for us. He's been one of the better players on our defense. He can get to the QB, which is very impressive on the interior line. He can also stuff the run very well. So considering the fact that you got, you know, teams like Dallas, teams like Green Bay who can run the ball, Chicago likes to run the ball too, you know, it's definitely going to hurt. It's definitely going to hurt. However, I trust Wink. I really do. I think that if there's any coach that's going to get the most out of his players on this team, it's Wink Martindale. He seems to have his crew week in and week out ready to go. So I'm definitely intrigued to see how this defensive line is going to look, what adjustments they're going to make while Leonard Williams is gone. So again, Giants, we dodged a big bullet here. Definitely don't want to see this with any player, regardless of team. So Leonard Williams, you know, rest up, man. We're going to need you down the stretch. Come back soon. Come back healthy, man. Definitely was a scary situation, man. Don't want to see any player go down with an injury, especially a player that, again, is a captain. He's a leader on this team. He's a focal point on this defense. You never want to see that for anyone. So prayers up, Leo, and get well soon. Now, the New York Giants went and they signed linebacker Jaylon Smith. Jaylon Smith, as you guys know, was with the New York Giants for a little bit last year. He looked okay. He had 12 tackles for the New York Giants in 4 games. You know, he brings speed. He's decent in coverage. I think he's okay in the run game. But I think when you compare him to Tate Crowder, Austin Carlito, I think it's an upgrade. Not that big of an upgrade, but it's definitely an upgrade. You know, we lack depth at that position. I think really the only promising player is maybe McFadden, in my opinion. But at the same time, I think, you know, this isn't a bad signing. This was announced by his agent, Doug Hendrickson, excuse me. So definitely intrigued to see what those numbers are. They haven't been unveiled yet. But Jaylon Smith, he's not a bad player. You know, obviously he's not the best that we could get at the moment, but we don't have much cap space at the moment. And I don't think that, you know, it's a bad signing. I think it's not a coincidence that he was signed before he plays his former team in the Dallas Cowboys. But again, I think that, he'll help in the run game. He'll be able to help out on the defensive side of the ball, calling plays. I know that's usually with Xavier McKinney. He has the dot. But, I think in this scenario where, you have a player that's familiar with what Dallas likes to do and what they like to run, that's always good to have. It gives you a little bit of an advantage. But again, Jaylon Smith, he's not anything special at the linebacker position, but he's definitely, some quality depth at a worst case. This linebacking core is thin. In my opinion, it's a little weak, especially since we released Blake Martinez, who's still a free agent out there. One thing I will point out is that Jaylon Smith is coming off of that injury that he suffered 2 years ago. So, we saw him last year. He looked a little slow, but he still looked relatively fast, especially going sideline to sideline. He looked okay. He didn't look bad, but he just looked okay. So, you're hoping that this year, he can continue with his progression. You want to hope that he can at least be somewhat serviceable, considering the fact that, again, this linebacking core is weak, and, we need some depth at that because, God forbid, a player like Tay Crowder or Austin Carlito goes down, you don't really got much depth there. So I'm not upset with the Jaylon Smith signing. I thought it was smart. I actually really like it. I was advocating in the offseason on Twitter. I thought the New York Giants should have brought back Jaylon Smith. You probably could have got him on a cost-effective deal, maybe on a one-year flyer. I don't think he would have gotten a better deal anywhere else. Clearly, he hasn't because he was a free agent. But again, not a bad signing. So those are my thoughts on Leonard Williams and his injury update. Giants dodged the bullet with that one. Leo, get well soon. Gave you guys my thoughts on linebacker Jaylon Smith rejoining the New York Giants. Let me know your guys' thoughts below. How do you guys feel about Leonard Williams missing some time, but knowing that he's not going to miss the entirety of the season? And how do you guys feel about the New York Giants bringing back Jaylon Smith? I don't think it's necessarily a bad thing. Again, at worst case, it's decent depth at a weak position that the Giants have. So not too upset with it, but I want to hear your thoughts below. And again, we'll see you guys in the next video.